SmackDown after WrestleMania was a very eventful show. Aleister Black made his return. John Cena and Randy Orton finally meet face to face. A TLC match that proved it should have been on the WrestleMania card. But I've been watching WWE for 22 years now. And this is how you repay me? With Travis Scott and Nia Jax? Disgusting. In all seriousness, I think WWE absolutely delivered. Wasn't as good of a show as Raw was. Not that I expected it to be. Like, obviously SmackDown is definitely worse than Monday Night Raw. I'm so happy they didn't Def Rebelled Aleister Black's theme song. I was honestly shocked. Like, that is so rare in the WWE right now. It's like they're on a mission to ruin wrestlers' presentation. So I'm honestly shocked. Now, welcome back to another SmackDown review, people. I don't know if it's the worst or best timing ever, but I got sick after Raw after WrestleMania. But I'm just really happy I was able to make all the most important reviews in time, you know. Unfortunately, didn't get to talk about the Raw controversy, but we'll get into that in future videos. So the show kicks off with John Cena. Obviously, the grand introduction. The last real champion in the WWE. Randy Orton interrupts. Massive reaction. People, I'm like a kid again. Randy Orton talked about their history and talked about John Cena's impact on the youth, on the kids. I mean, hustle, loyalty, respect. You inspire generations, granting more Make-A-Wish wishes than anybody else. You're a true role model. What happened? You know what, John? I think you should have kids to pass on that legacy. That was absolutely hilarious. That Randy Orton's response was basically, dude, you gotta have kids. Why don't you have kids shooting blanks or something? Are you stupid, perhaps? John Cena with the blue hair girl responds, are you parent shaming me? This felt so out of character. The real reason I don't have kids is because I spent the last 25 years raising yours. And he even pointed at a kid and a father in the crowd and talked shit. Look at this brat showing me a middle finger. Orton says, without the fans, there's no Hollywood. Without the fans, there's no WWE. Right now, you're just a guest. And I'm furniture. And that is factually legit. Randy Orton says he is going to stay in the WWE for as long as he can. Truly the GOAT. I loved Randy's promo, man. He talked about Cody's theme song. You know, wrestling has more than one royal family. I'm part of one of these families. Obviously, Ortons are a huge deal in professional wrestling. So, you know, he's insulted that John Cena wants to ruin professional wrestling. Orton says wrestling gave him everything and Cena won't be allowed to ruin it. Orton challenges John Cena for the undisputed championship right now, and John Cena declines. He says it should be in St. Louis, which is Randy Orton's hometown, because he wants Randy Orton at his best. Because once Orton loses in St. Louis, he can't make any excuses. This is as close as you'll get to the championship. He throws the belt at Orton, but sucker punches him. So John Cena is beating the crap out of Randy Orton. In what universe are we living right now, people? It's absolutely crazy. But Randy Orton stands tall. We got an RKO and he's holding that undisputed title. I mean, it still feels kind of wild that Randy Orton is the good guy in this situation for the first time in decades. And I can't believe I'm rooting for a babyface. Look, people, I know it's a very predictable rivalry. I know John Cena is retaining. But like I've said in my Raw review, this is the rivalry. This is the shit I grew up with. So obviously, I'm excited, and the story so far seems to be pretty interesting. I know it's not gonna be long, I know we're not gonna get any twists and turns, but it's personal. These were the two faces of the company back in the PG era, Ruthless Aggression era somewhat. Just absolute pros, and I know the match is not gonna be spectacular, but what definitely helps, outside of it being, you know, really marquee right now, at this point of professional wrestling. I remember at one point people were like, not another John Cena versus Randy Orton match, and I get that, but now it's different. What helps is that it's in St. Louis, so the crowd reaction is going to be insane, and obviously John Cena beating Randy Orton in St. Louis, a lot of boos, he is ruining professional wrestling. Fraxium made their SmackDown debut, so they're now officially a part of Friday Night SmackDown. We got a pretty decent match in which they obviously won. Say what you will, man. Say what you will about SmackDown. It's not the best show on the planet. again, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, is those goddamn 3 hours, right? SmackDown does have a pretty legit tag team division. Like, that's the one thing I really respect about SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton talked for the first time since her WrestleMania match. She's not the next Charlotte Flair. There's only one Charlotte Flair, and there's only one Tiffany Stratton. Jade Cargill interrupts, and since she's done with Naomi, she wants a piece of Tiffany. So I'm really surprised we actually got this match. Tiffany versus Jade, which seems like a pay-per-view championship match. I was really confused. I was like, okay, you don't want Tiffany to lose in this situation. You don't want Jade Cargill to lose. And just as I thought about that, I was like, okay, Naomi is definitely interfering and this rivalry is going to continue. So the match was alright. Obviously, that's exactly what happened. We got Naomi, which is great, and I'm really happy we got that. Obviously, Naomi lost at WrestleMania, but I feel like there's so much more to the story, and she needs at least one W, please. Obviously, as much as we do like Jade, Naomi is kinda the one we're rooting for, right? She finally got that character, she's nailing it. She needs that W. As a matter of fact, I would say she needs to hold that championship in 2025. But then Nia Jax came back and she attacked Tiffany Stratton. She's coming. Okay, come on now. Come on, we saw that. We saw that. We don't need that anymore. We don't need that anymore. We're moving backwards right now. We're moving backwards, people. Nothing against Nia Jax. Been there, done that. Let's give Tiffany something fresh and exciting. It was time for Jacob Fatu to celebrate, and Solo Sikoa took all the credit. It's because of me Jacob Fatu is a champion. Until Jacob got pissed, he said, I told you, Solo, I'm gonna bring this championship to the Bloodline with you or without you. Man, the United States Championship title picture is looking insane. Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Jacob Fatu. Everybody wants a piece of that championship, and I told you that like in 2016, I believe, whenever we have main eventers who actually want a mid-card championship, that's when the championship feels prestigious. You know, I always go back to the Intercontinental Championship in 2016. Guys like Dean Ambrose wanted the championship, Ziggler, Miz. In some ways, this feels even more important. Some great back and forth between all the guys right here, and Nick Aldis makes it official. Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight, #1 contenders match. But once we actually got the match, the United States Championship title picture got even better because Damian Priest interfered. We didn't get a winner, but in the end, it was Jacob Fatu who stood tall. Are we getting a fatal four-way at Backlash? I don't know what it is about this pay-per-view, man, but Backlash is looking really interesting this year, and I feel like some of these matches are going to be even more intriguing than the matches we got at WrestleMania. Like I've said, after WrestleMania, it's almost like WWE hit that reset button. I mean, Randy Orton versus John Cena, obviously exciting. Tag team match, possibly. Roman Reigns and CM Punk versus Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. That sounds super exciting. Possibly a fatal four-way United States Championship match. And then there's Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax, but you know what I mean. Okay, this was unexpected. Women's United States Championship match. Zelina Vega, who has a horrendous theme song, which sounds like SmackDown's theme song, just even worse. Obviously versus Chelsea Green. I did not expect that result, people. We got a new WWE Women's United States Champion. Look, I'm very happy for Zelina. It's one of these moments where you're like, okay, I get it. You work your ass off. I appreciate that. It's a pretty cool moment. Chelsea didn't need to lose. She's really over, one of the most over talent in the WWE. She didn't need to lose. I don't see what that honestly accomplishes. People, this might be the worst thing I've ever seen. But then The Miz goes into the ring, rants about not being at WrestleMania, and Aleister Black's music hits. The same music we love, the same entrance we love. The pop was kinda in the middle, you know. I really wish they popped more. But Aleister just comes to the ring, Black mastered The Miz, and he's back in the WWE. So just like with Rusev's return to WWE, doesn't really seem like they have legit plans yet. Maybe this was just an easy way to get that pop and then we move. I don't know. But to me, Aleister Black versus The Miz, it's the most safest shit you could do. It's the shit WWE always does. Every time somebody makes a return, a debut, it's always The Miz. And it goes to show you WWE trusts The Miz, I get that. You need to make a bit more impact. Obviously, so excited for Aleister Black. The guy looks absolutely amazing. Again, my biggest worry is with so many talent in the WWE, so many returning talent, how many can actually be used in an important position. I don't know, to me it just feels like it's going to take months until we see these guys in important rivalries. Hey, we finally got that John Cena and R-Truth segment. It was a little bit disappointing though. I wish we got more. R-Truth is just excited, man. He can't wait to be like John Cena once he grows up. And obviously the main event was the TLC Tag Team Championship match. I got the sense of these people are pissed they were not at WrestleMania, so we're gonna just go out there and prove why we should have been the match at WrestleMania. This was almost a 30-minute match, I believe, and they just did all the shit. Like stuff you wouldn't normally expect to see on SmackDown. WrestleMania level match right here. You could put this match on a regular pay-per-view, put it in the main event, nobody's gonna be pissed, man. Nobody's gonna be pissed. There's a big difference between the WWE Tag Team titles and World Tag Team titles, man. World Tag Team titles still feel like this sports entertainment shit, and these are just legit tag team championships with very legit tag teams, making it look like this is the most prestigious prize in sports entertainment. I was blown away by this, and in a way I'm like, okay, it sucks we didn't get this match at WrestleMania. On the other hand, we just got a badass match on SmackDown, so I can't really complain. The Street Profits retained the tag team titles, with honestly everybody looking better after the match ended. And that was your SmackDown. People, sorry for low energy. I'm still feeling pretty rough. I just really needed to talk about this episode of SmackDown. So thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if you already didn't. As always, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.